Well, how do you like this daughter of mine, Finelli? The interview she taped with Joe Novak is so hot they don't even wait for the late news.
I like my wife. Terrific, Johnny. You think we'll be able to hear the interview?
Well, pardon me for talking up in my own saloon.
Oh, come on, Danny. I want to hear this, too. Was Novak himself, or was he phony?
I think he's phony all the time.
Oh, an objective news person.
Hey, listen. My personal feeling did not affect my work. You'll see.
Too bad he's so macho.
Wait, did you meet him too?
Yeah, right here today. He's an old friend of Jack's.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Some old friend up before the grand jury, huh? That's terrific.
Come on, turn it up, please.
In response to a statement by Assistant D.A. Hanley this morning, Mr. Novak's lawyer stated that his client was being harassed by a, quote, politically motivated district attorney. Mr. Hanley countered that his office was, quote, not in the habit of harassing private citizens. He went on to say that Mr. Novak's involvement in the fishing business, the italics are Mr. Hanley's, puts him in an ideal position to help the ongoing investigation of crime on the South Shore of Long Island, if Mr. Novak would cooperate. Thus far, that cooperation has not been forthcoming. Now, let's meet Joe Novak and ask him. Mr. Novak, good evening. Would you like to comment on Mr. Hanley's remarks?
Sure I would, Mary. Thanks.
Sure, Mary.
It seems to me that what the assistant DA is doing happens fairly often during election years. They pick a target, an ordinary citizen, mind your own business type of individual, and they start a campaign. Before you know it, his name's being tossed all over town, connected with shady deals and so forth. Whatever crimes haven't been solved in the last few years. Of course, nobody formally charges this poor guy with anything because he hasn't done anything. He's just used, abused, and then forgotten.
You're saying the district attorney's office is using you in this way?
Yes. I don't flatter myself that it's anything personal.
What makes you think that they would do that? Select you?
It beats me. Something interesting about a fisherman? I don't know.
Would it have anything to do with your uncle, Mr. Tiso Novotny?
I'm the one they subpoenaed.
Yes, but I do believe it is true that you have a close relationship with your uncle. Let me explain to our audience that Mr. Novotny's name has been linked from time to time with alleged illegal activities.
Do you have an uncle, Mary?
Yes, I do, although not in this country.
Well, if you did have one here, the chances are you'd probably see him now and then. Have dinner, talk about the family. My uncle and I do that. In that sense, we're close.
I see. What area of your life is the grand jury interested in? Your fishing business?
Maybe, although there's not much to know about that either. I run 5 boats out of Sheepshead Bay in Brooklyn. If the government wants to come down and look them over, they're welcome. They should bring a warrant, though. I think that's called due process.
Before we run out of time, I would like to clarify your position. Are you saying to our audience that you, in fact, have no particular knowledge of the subject of the grand jury's investigation, namely organized crime on the South Shore, including smuggling of narcotics, organized theft of ship's cargo, an alleged protection racket, and prostitution?
Mary, I'm saying exactly that. You clarified it beautifully.
Mr. Novak, thank you for being with us this evening. This is Mary Ryan Finelli for Channel 1 News. Good night.
Mary, fantastic. You did it again, sweetheart. Oh.
Nice job, Mayor. So what do you think? Is he telling the truth?
I believe him.
I don't.
Stopped by your office around 4. What were you?
At 4, I was talking to the chief of pediatrics in her office.
Oh.
I'm not up for an accounting of my time, Seneca. So let's change the subject.
Sorry, I wasn't checking on you. Just that I was very anxious to talk to you, and I was frustrated when I couldn't find you.
Okay, talk to me now. What's wrong?
Jill, the meeting earlier today with
I would
Frank...
hardly call that a meeting.
No, you're right. No, anyway, it was the encounter, however brief, made it painfully clear just how difficult this situation is. I mean, we have come so far from our original purpose with the memorial.
Our purpose? Seneca, this morning you admitted that your purpose in devising this whole project was to get me to have another baby.
Oh, no. I said that was a factor, but certainly not the whole thing. The main idea was to help you to come to terms with your grief about Edmund.
Yes. And I feel like I've taken it a step toward that today.
Frank?
Is that what this is about? You saw Frank and me share a moment of understanding, a moment you couldn't control?
I saw you and Frank getting involved on an emotional level. Ray noticed it, too.
Oh, terrific. So what'd the two of you do when we walked away? Stand there and assess the degree and the nature of the threat?
You're overreacting.
I am? Seneca, understand this. If there is discord and if there is difficulty, you and Ray have caused it. Now, please stop it. Before you turn a beautiful memorial to Edmund into something very, very ugly.
See, none of this needed to happen. Jillian, we can still fix it. If both Frank and Ray resign from the board...
I will not ask Frank to pull out. I didn't ask him on the project in the first place. He is Edmund's father, and he is valuable. And before you and Ray got your heads together, I thought we could handle this like adults.
Well, if Frank stays on the board, so does Ray. She's ready to commit a great deal of money to it. And since you want to be adult about it, I suggest you make an effort to welcome her participation.
Oh, and what am I supposed to do? Plan my board meetings around her dressmaker? I will not.
No, you won't have to. Ray has changed her schedule, and she's going to be at the meeting tomorrow.
Fine. Fine. And if you two don't get hysterical, possibly we will be able to accomplish something.
Hysteria is not Ray's style. It is not my style. We're all going to have to be careful, Jillian.
Seneca, I understand where you're coming from about Frank. For that matter, I can understand where Ray is coming from. But what neither of the two of you seems to understand is that Frank and me can be together and meet, and it shouldn't concern you. In fact, meeting with him today, I finally accepted something that you've been trying to tell me for weeks.
Oh, really? What's that?
That I haven't made peace with myself with Edmund. I have to face up to that. I can't run and hide.
Sorry you needed Frank to confirm that.
Oh, I didn't need him. It just happened. I wanted to share that with you. Never mind. Never mind. All you need to understand, if you care to listen, is that I need to confront my feelings about Edmund. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to the beach house tonight.
I'm sorry, it's impossible. I have to be at the hospital.
Well, that's no reason why I can't go out anyway.
Well, it's every reason. Do you think that I would allow you to go out where Edmund died without me?
You still don't understand, do you? You don't have to allow me to do anything.
Would you like to bring on a back spasm so severe that you can't control it? Would you like to inflict incredible psychic pain on yourself? Well, maybe so, but does that mean I have to stand by and let you?
You have nothing to say about it. I will do what I need to do to help myself.
While I stand around waiting to pick up the pieces. Now, Jillian, it is destructive for you to go out to that beach house alone. Now, if you weren't so intent on rebelling against me, you'd see that.
Well, I think that I am intelligent enough to know that I shouldn't go to the house by myself. So I have invited my sister to join me, and she has agreed.
I see. Well, I'd rather be there myself, but I guess it's all right if Faith goes along with you.
Oh, thank you very much. But whether you granted your permission or not, I would still go ahead as planned.
So who's this Uncle Tizo character, anyway?
Oh, just one of your ordinary garden variety crime lords.
No kidding. Jack, is that true?
Hey, why ask him? Your sister's a top-notch journalist.
Well, Daddy, Joe, and Jack are old friends from down in the docks.
Wait a minute. Novotny. That begins to ring a bell.
Pretty ones, yeah, like graft, extortion, narcotics, white slavery.
Okay, Mary, hold it. Now, I don't know Tiso personally. He may well deserve his reputation, but Joe doesn't, okay? It's Novak and not Novotny because the latter became too notorious. Joe loves his uncle, but he keeps his own nose clean.
Well, you know what they say, Jack. The apple never falls far from the tree.
So does Novak's father have anything to do with Tizo's business?
His father's dead, I think. That's where his uncle comes in, sort of a father's substitute. Like Jumbo was for me.
Oh, Jack, how can you speak about Jumbo and that man in the same breath? Joe Novak's obviously being groomed to take over when Tiso retires.
Wow, listen to you. And what movies have you been seeing lately, huh? You know, Mary, that is guilt by association. And that's exactly what Joe's complaining about.
You really trust him, huh?
I've known the guy for maybe 15 years. Not well, but well enough. I think he's exactly what he says he is. A hardworking, street-smart businessman.
I don't get it, Finelli. You never take anything else or anybody else at face value.
Well, 15 years is more than face value.
But I didn't trust the man after 15 seconds.
Well, you and your snap judgments, Mary. She get that from you, Johnny?
Hey,
Come
Finelli,
on,
now
hey,
you...
listen, I'm going by instinct here, okay? Vibes, signals I pick up from him. And what they say to me is arrogant, insincere, and mean.
You don't like him because he's a male chauvinist.
Yeah, that too.
Well, at least he makes for sparkling conversation.
You know, I don't know which one of you is right, but I do know it was quite a coup getting that guy to grant a television interview.
I had a little help from my friend.
Yeah, but not on television. You asked the questions and answers.
True. And the key there is Joe's cooperation. He was nice about that.
Yeah, you might call him and say thanks.
For what?
Making a special trip to the studio.
No. He was dying to make his statement. Thatcher says Joe should thank me.
Mary, I went out of my way to arrange it. You could be polite.
Honey, I thanked you, didn't I? I refuse to call that self-satisfied.
Okay. If you won't do it, I guess I will.
So, what'd you think of the boss on TV, Boris?
They gonna make you a star?
Maybe.
When are you going public?
I don't know. I came out of the hearing, and there was that girl, and some other reporters. And Harry saying, no statement, no statement. But she kept asking questions. Then Hanley had his say, and I thought, well, what the hell? So I took her mic and made a little statement. Felt much better. When Finelli called, the girl was his wife. They'd had trouble with the film. I felt like doing a favor. Good publicity's nice for a change. Finelli's nice.
His wife?
Interesting. Beautiful. She has a beautiful sister, too. Unusual day. I liked it.
It's hot out there. You got away early. Seemed like a good idea. Look, you sure that Tom doesn't mind you coming out to the beach house?
Oh, no. No, he has tons of work to do, lots to catch up on, so he has more than enough to keep him busy.
Everything's really good with you two, huh?
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's suddenly like having the honeymoon we never had.
What about Poppy?
She's gone. For good. We think she's probably gone to Ireland, which concerned us at first. But Tom's confident that she won't betray him to the Donahues.
I am so happy for you that everything worked out.
Boy, who would have believed that when I got married for all the wrong reasons, I'd be happily married and totally in love with my husband.
Well, I suppose it happens.
Jill, what is it?
No, I hate to tell you.
Come on. Now I've dampened your shoulder enough. Seneca?
Oh, something awful just happened a few minutes ago.
What?
We fight a lot. I don't know, maybe that's expected. But it's this constant need of his to control me. It's an ongoing problem. But Before, there was just so much that was positive. But I don't know, now he was at his worst. Domineering, controlling, telling me what's best for me. I just sat there, watching him and listening to him. And I suddenly realized that I was hearing something else. I was hearing my own voice inside my head saying, I don't want to be married to this man anymore. And I meant it.
What was the fight about? Was it about Frank?
No, I can understand that. I hate it, but I can understand it. It was about going out to the beach house, how he wouldn't allow it.
Well, I suppose he was just trying to protect you.
Yeah, but I don't care what his good intentions were. I don't care if the motivation was loving, if I can't feel the loving anymore.
How do you feel?
Bad. I tried to make a list of all the things coming over here, all the loving, supportive, generous things that he's always done for me ever since I've known him. All of that, it always seemed to outweigh everything else. Except now it started to change. I don't know. Every time I look at my husband, I have to think about lecturing myself or hearing this little voice in my head.
Whatever it's worth, I understand the feelings. You know, when things were at their worst for Tom and I never wanted to see him again. Also, and maybe it was more important than I realized, I had bad feelings about myself for putting myself in that position in the first place.
I appreciate that, but it's different. Tom was sick, that's why he hurt you so much.
Okay. I guess what I'm trying to say is that when you think things are impossible, they can change.
I thought that. I don't anymore.
I wonder, instead of going out to the island tonight, why don't you go back home and try to work things out with Seneca now?
Nope. Not now, because I've gotten up the courage to go out to the beach house, where I remember good memories, growing up.
Dad?
Yeah. See, I can go out there and I can think. I mean, that's why I took Edmund out there that day. To think about Seneca and me, essentially the same problems. So I'll come back to New York City and they'll be there. Right now, I just want to get to the beach house. And I want to remember Edmund.
Okay. I spoke with Roger, and all the repairs on the house are done.
I know, he told me he fixed everything. Edmund's room is rebuilt. Oh, I know it's going to be empty, but I feel like it's going to be safe.
Seven.
Good-looking girl, the TV lady.
You noticed?
You didn't?
Sure I did. I also noticed she's married to a guy I've known for years. Too bad, I thought to myself. Then I met this sister of hers.
Excuse me, Mr. Novak, but you have a call.
Huh.
Will you take it?
Sure. Probably one of my new fans. Hello, Joe Novak here.
Hello, Mary Finelli.
Mary! Hi there.
Hi, your office gave me this number.
Right, I thought I'd hear from you.
You did, huh? Well, then you probably know I'm calling to thank you for being on the show. It went well, I thought.
Well, thanks. You were terrific, too. Maybe we ought to do it again sometime.
Oh, anything's possible.
Hey, is your sister there? The one with the funny name?
Siobhan? Yeah, she is.
Put her on, would you?
Hello?
Siobhan? Have I got it right?
That's my name.
Nice. Kind of strange.
It's not strange, actually. It's Irish.
Same thing. Listen, I'm kidding. How do you spell it?
You wouldn't believe it. Now, what exactly did you call about?
I wondered what you thought about the show. I'd never been on TV before. As an impartial observer, Tell me how I came across.
Impartially? Well, I was intrigued.
Good.
But I had to wonder, were you telling the truth?
What kind of question is that?
Well, you asked me what I thought. I thought I couldn't tell if you were telling the truth.
Okay. Yes, I was. I always told the truth. You believe me?
I don't know.
Chiffon, you're great. Flatter me some more. Better still, do it in person. I've got a boat down here that's about to go out for a couple hours. You want to come along, do some fishing? I'll tell you all about myself, nothing but the truth. You can wonder whether to believe me or not.
No, thanks. But have a great time.
Another time, maybe?
I really don't think so.
You can bring your sister and Finelli along as bodyguards.
No, really.
Okay, it's up to you. You'll be missing a good time, though.
Well, them's the breaks. So long.
So long. For the time being.
That's all I need. A new admirer. Actually, that's exactly what I need. But not that one.
I couldn't agree with you more. You get that same funny feeling in your stomach?
Not exactly. He's interesting, I'll give him that much.
He's interesting, yes, but in all the wrong ways. Trust your first instinct.
You disagree?
I told you, I like the guy. I trust him.
What if the perfect guy for you is in LA, or DC, or New York City? Get ready to take a holiday. A new original reality series premieres this Wednesday at 10 on SoapNet.